I'm in downtown LA and we are at the Millennium Biltmore Hotel, or the Sedgwick Hotel from Ghostbusters. Here's where the Ecto-1 pulls off. You can tell by the windows and the awning. Here's one of the entrance. The shot from across the street. You can see the windows better. Here's the elevator they get into. Someone saw a cockroach up on 12th. Here's where they used as the ballroom. Slimer. Desk. So here's the hallway. This is where they would have come in. They would have created a faux door here. And this is where they capture Slimer. Wayne Campbell's house in Waynesville. This is the Santa Anita Mall. We're at the south entrance of the Santa Anita racetrack. We think this is where the Marty Moose statue was, somewhere about here in the frame while the family's looking at him. You can see by the pole here in the shot, and this little bit up here. And then there's another shot where it's just a little bit angled, and you can see the railing back there and the gate. They've repainted this. So there used to be a design along the back wall, like a rope design kind of thing, interwove, and then kind of like a chevron pattern that went there. So, and I've seen that before, so unfortunately they've recently painted this in the last couple of years. And then that means the family, when they look back at Ellen and the kids, would have been something like this. The planners being a little different. And in a moment, we're gonna walk out to the parking lot and we'll show you our best guess of where they were for that. First one's here. First one's here. All right, so I'm here at the Saddleback, and this is the famous National Lampoon's Vacation Pool, and right over here is where Clark was. So this is where they would have had the scene before the hot tub was there. This is where him and Christy Brinkley do their thing. And then right up here, Audrey and Rusty start at this room, and then they move over and have a conversation here with Clark and Rusty. So pretty cool, so cool to be here. Talk about some film history. Sorry, I went too far. They go down right here, and that's where Clark and Rusty have their conversation. These trees that we see here were not nearly as tall at the time of film. They have their conversation here about the pool wager. Now outside the lobby, they have even more photos of it. I like that they recognize that this is their claim to fame. It's awesome. Looks to be the same photos as inside. So we're off Highway 108 and we stopped at the Ranger Station. There's a little ranger station here. You can get information about the animals and wildlife. Sometimes you need permits for different stuff here, so it's a good little place to stop. And of course they have restrooms. So at this point we're about a half hour from the cabin. So this is the turnoff from Highway 108 to our cabin. And it's this kind of cool, semi-secluded dirt road. If you didn't know that there was any cabins back here, you wouldn't know to really turn down here, which is kind of nice. At nighttime you can see some of the lights from the cabins from the road, but otherwise it's pretty well hidden. There's a couple of forks on this road to lead to the different cabin loops. There's also a second entrance just up the highway, but this is generally the one we would take. This is what we would probably consider the main entrance to get back to the cabin. To the left here, you can't see it, but if you walk down this way and to the left there's a small creek. If you cross that, it leads back to some nice trails and actually a waterfall. To the left there, that leads up to a couple of cabins just sort of on the, I don't know, we never really had a name for it as far as I know, but like the upper cabins, if you will, but I'm talking a few hundred yards down from ours. It's just a quicker path. And as we come down this road, this one forks off to the right, kind of twice in a way. So you can see there to the right, and there's two roads really, so like a hard right and then a slight right, and again just more cabins down that way. This is a nice open sort of, I don't know if we call it a field, but we used to see deer and things here every now and then, in the mornings usually. And there's our cabin, cabin number 9. And we would just park the cars back there. A few years ago they made us put these rocks down to designate kind of where cars parked, and I don't really know what the full reason was, but Forest Service demanded it. Alright, and here's a shed that we have in the back, large shed. It's actually a fridge inside too, and a bunch of supplies. You can see snow still on the ground. It's in the shade so it hasn't melted. Log pile. Property line ends somewhere as the hill starts really going up. Then we have a campsite. A lot of stumps just to sit on. And here's the back side of the cabin. Alright, and just to look around the back side of the cabin, the windows get shuttered up every time we leave for any extended period of time, and then through the winter they get boarded up because the snow will go up above the roof. You can see a lot of trees we've had to fall over the years. On the right's a restroom, on the left goes into another bedroom. And then as we come to the front, again there's the restroom, there's the first window, and then the second window is the bedroom again. Our porch, the roof collapses down, those posts come out, and that helps so that otherwise the snow would break it during the winter. But that's why those windows aren't boarded up right now. You can see the snow and things melting from the roof. Oh, look at this icicle right here. It's pretty good size. Wouldn't want that hitting you. There's a little kind of like a doorbell in a way. You just ring those bells. There's no power here. We do have a small generator, but we didn't have one for many years. And it used to be 2 cabins at one time, which is why you can see the difference in the design there. There is a second floor, there's a bedroom up there, master below it, a little storage shed. I know when I was a kid that was kind of my little play area, but that's where the generator is now. See the venting. And then my dad redid the stairs a few years ago, so it's pretty nice. Alright, turkey and cheese sandwich, my last meal here. Some chips and water and view of the backyard. Let's go upstairs and check it out. So all the locks have skeleton keys, which is kind of cool. It's a new one. This one broke, but we do have a couple other ones that are brass like this. Then turn. There she goes. little stuffy in here, but you can see it was drywalled a long time ago. And these are just old beds we brought from the house at some point. And there's back outside. This old dresser. It's funny to me because all of this furniture has been here for 30 years, and it was probably here 30 years prior. Shouldn't say all of it, but a lot of the furniture. I used to sleep up here, which was cool as a little kid. I thought it was neat. The master bedroom's right below us. And I put these posters up. I used to have these wildlife magazines or whatever it was. This one looks like National Geographic. Just pinning them all over the place. Again, as a kid, that was a lot of fun, you know, probably about 10 years old. There's a propane light. It's all throughout the cabin. The old spring beds. And this mattress. I don't know how old this is, but it's been here forever. It's pretty funny, but you know, yeah. It's not bad. You know, it's kind of like that adage of they don't make them like they used to. I think that applies here. I really do. The fact that this furniture has lasted so long. Of course, you could argue it may not be the most comfortable, but it's holding together better than we can say about a lot of modern furniture. This bed wasn't always here, as you could probably tell. At least the mattress, I think, is what it is. Was not always here. But let's step outside on the landing. Back out to the road. Through the trees there, we can't see it, but I'll show it to you. When I was a kid, it was a big rock, but of course, as an adult, you look at it and it's not so big anymore. But there's the neighbor, and then we didn't always have these rocks kind of lining the driveway. We had these rocks here, but those ones are a bit new, and then a lot of the trees that have fallen and that got burnt. Unfortunately, there's a fire about 3-4 years ago that really did some damage. But the forest is starting to recover, and before you know it, actually, you'll have a lot of fresh growth, and you'll never know there was a fire. But anyways, this is the second floor. Let's continue our tour. I found this leaning against the dresser back there. I remember making this when I was a little kid. Just a piece of scrap plank wood, and yeah, so you can see the pant. It's for tongue and groove, you know. It's for the siding. Looks like I did some handiwork here, getting this rope attached. And then I remember I took a screwdriver, a flathead, and then a hammer, and I did my version of chiseling. I think that was supposed to be a peace sign. It's funny. Brings back memories. I made this in the little shed below the stairs, which now houses the generator. It's right below the landing there. Alright, so for some wayfinding, again, here's the stairs. And then in this cabinet here, it's a little storage thing and a small generator my dad put in. It vents out, allows some air to come in. And here's my so-called workbench that I made that sign on that I showed you from the upstairs bedroom. But obviously very simple. Just spacing under the stairs. Probably a lot of spiders in here usually, but yeah, this was one of my little hangout spots. Even as a kid, I liked just tinkering with stuff, playing. And then here's the view of the front yard again. So there's the shed. There's a small window there that opens to the master bedroom, and then one on the side. They just prop up and open from the inside. There's a screen. A little bit of snow on the ground. This is May 12th today. This goes into the living room, and there's the chimney stack from the fireplace. They have a cast iron stove inside. There's the porch. Porch does need a little bit of work. Here's some icicles. That's cool cowbell. side. There used to be a little bit here, right here, that was made of wood. It had a little notepad in it, and you know, if you came over to visit and we weren't here, you could let us know by writing it down. Small window there that goes into the living room. Now back out to the front, but let me step out here a ways to show you. This used to be 2 cabins. I might get this wrong, but I want to say it was just this one, the second story, and then it was like this bit over here or something like that. So somewhere in here was what was added. I want to say it was the living room. I actually think this was added at some point in time. But it's great. There's 3 independent bedrooms. You saw the upstairs could sleep at least 3 adults. The master can sleep 1. We used to have 2 beds in there, but it's 1 bed now, so 2 people. It's like a king or queen. And then there's another bedroom here, which I'll show you guys shortly. But I'll keep going around the side. And this is the restroom. And there's the vent from the hot water heater. You can see the snow does a bit of a number on it. It's a little crooked. The piping here, I can't remember if this gets refitted every year, or if this pipe is just no longer in use, or if it's like a vent pipe. I honestly can't remember right at the moment. But it goes down here though, and there, somewhere out about there, is a septic tank. And this is our propane tank. This one here, this pill shape. And they come out, the company, it's called JS West, who does it right now, who services it. And they'll fill this periodically. There's the restroom, and then the entrance to the other bedroom. But as you can see, you do have to come outside to go into the restroom. And then around back, we have the biggest lot out of all the cabins, so it technically goes back somewhere along the base of the hill, so it's pretty large. Let's divert for a minute and come out here. So you have to rake your needles every year. So one of their neighbors was kind enough, or a couple of neighbors, that did this for them. So what they'll do is over time, they'll burn it in the fire pit here. Looks like someone had a fire here recently. But this is always a fun spot. A lot of fires had here, and this is different trees that someone fell recently or over the past season or 2, and just kind of naturally replenishes the wood pile over time. Again, a lot of the folks up here help each other out, so if someone does need to drop a tree, they will, and then they'll kind of share the rounds from time to time. The couple of birdhouses, I've actually never seen these, so these are new. They must have got them somewhere and put them up here. There used to be another shed here, a smaller one, just over yonder. It used to be technically an outhouse for a long time, and then they converted it to just a freestanding shed, and then the Forest Service said that we could only have one structure, and then they decided to keep this one because obviously it's much larger. Keep some kindling here, some wood, and we store a bunch of stuff in here. There's actually a second fridge that we never really used. I think I can only recall using it one time. And then this goes back. This here is for a rain gauge. We get like a horseshoe game going here. The horseshoe stakes out. We've done badminton before and other things. I think I'll do is I'll film my iPhone facing forward and my pocket facing me for the moment. And let's head over to where I told you there's this kind of rock. Come through here. You always want to be careful where you're walking. Like this, obviously a tree fell at some point, then you gotta wonder, you know, anything's burrowing down here, snakes and things. It's a cool day. It's probably in the 50s, but it's nice in the sun, so you know, things like snakes and stuff will want to come out. But here's the rock, so to speak, and it was always fun trying to climb this thing as a kid. So let's go up, let's take a look around. So here I'm on the back side of the rock. You can see a few more cabins, but let's come around. Oh, I'm out of shape. here's the view that we used to have. And before these trees got big, I remember sitting here and having line of sight to the backyard. There's our shed through there. So over 30 years, a few of the trees have grown. Point out, so again, the front, coming up, the front was always harder as a kid. You had this little bit there. We didn't go on that side too much, I think mainly because if you come up around this way, see, it's you know, it's a little easier, and we would play on these surfaces a lot more because they were more flat, as you can kind of tell from this angle. So we would I don't know, we just do all kinds of stuff over here. I can't even remember everything that we would pretend to be doing or whatever, but I just remember, you know, hide and seek was one, but not a big one. But playing with like toys up here, or just, I don't know, throwing stuff off. I remember shooting pellet rifles to the backyard. We actually set up cans way over in our backyard. Again, the trees were smaller, and we'd come up here and shoot them from here. That was pretty cool. But anyways, it's great. It feels good up here. It feels real good. Yeah. It's relaxing. Yeah. Nap time. So a long time ago, there was more of a tree here, and there was trees here. And we used to set up a hammock out here. Meadows, and if you guys recall what I showed you earlier in the cabin, the painting that we had, it does look pretty much like this. And then here's this meadow out here. Yeah, make sure you get a picture of this. There's a restaurant here. We come here for breakfast or dinner, lunch. They do it all, and we come here a lot for that. This is a lobby for the hotel, and if you want to rent any of the cabins. And then there's a small general store here, some payphones, and at the end. So real neat. Got some hats. I think Mars has one of these hats. And it's kind of a general store.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And then this goes into the lobby.
Okay.
This is in the restaurant. And then it's pretty nice in here. Very cozy. Very large feel. There's some of the bridges that go if you go up on the trail. And I will point this out. So this was not here when I was a kid, but it is the talk of the town now. Soft serve ice cream. Fish and tackle and just about anything you need. Nice and convenient here. So this is where I ended the video. If I recall, we went back to the cabin, and we may have hung out there a little longer. I think we just went up for the day, if memory serves me. But I wanted to go up and walk around and kind of be at the cabin. My folks have since sold the cabin, so I kind of knew that was coming. So I wanted to go up there, film around. You know, we have photos going back a long time, which is great, and I have wonderful memories of it, but I wanted to kind of film it and put it up here. Like I said, Mars and I do use this channel kind of to put a lot of almost like home videos on here, really, and we will go back and watch them sometimes, which is kind of cool. we're happy to share it with you guys though too, and kind of makes it fun. I like filming them and going through and then editing, etc., etc. So anyway, that's kind of why this made it in here. I know this video was a bit of a hodgepodge, starting in LA, doing a couple of small filming locations, and then winding up hundreds of miles away up in the Sierra Nevadas. But I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun filming, and again, part of the reason is me relocating, right? I wanted to see some of these places for the last time. I also want to go to some places that I've never been to before, so stay tuned for the next video. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. I go to a lot of what I call firsts or originals. I hunt down the first In-N-Out location, the first Wiener Schnitzel location, and a couple more things. So I think you guys will enjoy that, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next. Bye-bye.